Hey, I think I get the basics of permutation, but I am having trouble understanding this whole cycle notation thing. Can you explain it to me?
Sure, cycling notation is a shorthand way to express a permutation, especially when you're dealing with a set of elements. It's really useful because it makes it easier to see how elements are permuted without having to write out every single step.
Okay, so what exactly is a cycle notation? It is like listing all the numbers in order or something?
Not exactly. In cycling notation, we present permutation by showing how the elements cycling through each other. For example, we had the set 1, 2, 3, 4. A permutation might swap 1 with 3 and 2 with 4. In cycling notation, we write this as 1, 3 and 2, 4.
Wait, so what does that mean? Does it mean I goes to 3 and 2 goes to 4?
Exactly. The first cycle 1 3 means that 1 maps to 3 and 3 maps to 1. The second cycle 2 4 means that 2 maps to 4 and 4 maps to 2. This notation tells us the cycle of movement of each element in a permutation.
Oh, so it's like shorthand for saying that I and 3 are swapped and 2 and 4 are swapped. Get it. But what if there's only one element in the cycle, like 1?
Good question. If there's only one element in a cycle like one, that means one stay in the same place. So one really doesn't change anything in the set. It's just do nothing permutation, but we usually leave out those one element cycles because they don't actually affect the permutation.
Got it. So it's just used to show how elements are shuffled around, but what are some properties of permutation that we should know about?
There are a few important properties of permutation. First, a permutation is a bijection, meaning is the one-to-one and onto mapping, so every element in the set is mapping to exactly one other element, and every element is mapped from exactly one element.
That makes sense. So like there are no elements left out and no element gets mapped to more than one other element.
Exactly. Another important property is that the composition of two permutation is also a permutation. If you apply one permutation after another, you still get a valid permutation, and the order is which you apply that matters.
So if I have two different permutations, say 1, 2, and 3, 4, and I apply them one after the other, I get a new permutation.
Exactly. If you first apply 1, 2, and 3, 4, you get a new permutation, but if you reverse the order and apply 3, 4 first and then 1 and 2, you will end up with a different result.
Wow, this is a lot to take in, but it's really interesting. Thanks for explaining it, John. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it.
No problem. It's always a good idea to practice with different example. The more you work with the permutation and cycle notation, the clearer it will become.
I'll definitely try that. Thanks again.